You cannot force what is not the will of the Lord for you. If it is not what God wants for you, you will not force it because it is not going to work no matter what you put into it. God is particular about what He has for you. Whatsoever the Lord has for you will always come to you no matter what you have done, no matter where you are and the position of your mind. When the time comes for you to have it, you will be surprised to see the way everything will start to work for you. The relationship you are forcing is not working because it is not the will of God for you. If it is the will and what God wants for you, you do not have to force it. Everything God does is always perfect. You will start to wonder the reason it has not been working well between you and that guy. You have invested a lot to ensure that it works, but the relationship is not giving you any hope of improvement. There is something to it. There is more to that than what you are seeing. Whenever things happen like this, it means God is saying something to you. God wants you to listen and do the right thing for you. You want to know if someone is really for you or the person is not for you. You will know by the things that you see, by the things that are happening in your life. There are some occurrences you must not ignore or overlook as far as life is a concern. Clues and signs you would see and realize that God hasn't planned that person for you. Number 1, lack of commitment. The best attitude to keep a relationship going and strong is the commitment you give to you. It is the time and those things that you put into it. You have tried all you can, invested all your efforts and emotions, but you are still finding it difficult to get him committed to it. Commitment to a shows the person is ready to give everything. But if in any relationship, in any form of partnership, the other person is not showing any commitment to it, it shows the person is not interested in the relationship. And what will make the person show lack of interest is because they have something already planned out, and the plans may include having an interest in another person that is not you. You have to know this, or the reason he is not interested may be that he does not want to commit himself to anything that will keep him away from doing other things out there. Have you wondered why he is not giving himself to the relationship? God is speaking to you. God is telling you that he is not the person for you. God is saying something from that attitude. Relationship and love take commitment to get better, of which, if it is not like that, it is not going to be the plans of God for you. Number 2, unaccountable to you and not stable. Life is made better with the truth in it. You will know someone that is ready to go the way with you when they are truthful to you, been accountable, been truthful and honest with you. When his yes is yes and his no means no, there is seriousness in it. But if you want to know that he is not the right person that God has for you, if you want to know that he's not whom God planned for you, then you will see him show off all his characters of unaccountability. He tells you lies and defends himself with obviously wrong reasons. You deserve the blessings from the Lord. You deserve what God does for his people, and you deserve the happiness and the joy that comes from that relationship. Pay attention to what God is telling you, because God cannot give you someone that will not show forth or relate with you in a godly way. God gives you someone that will help your life and not someone that will hurt yourself more and more without any good reasons. This will make you know that to some extent, love alone does not show someone is the one that God has planned for you. People may show you love because of the reason best known to them. Maybe they want something from you, and maybe they do not want anything that will make them lose what they have got. People pretend to love. People pretend to have a feeling for you, and so you do not accept and conclude that someone is the person that God has planned for you, just because he tells you that he loves you. Anybody can say I love you, but not everyone has love working in them. Number 3, when there is no understanding. You will know He is not the will and the plan of the Lord for you when you find it difficult to understand Him. Understanding is the bedrock of every partnership in life. Two people cannot walk together unless there is a good understanding between them. If you have tried to create an understanding, if you have tried making ways for your mind to knit together, but He is not allowing you to understand Him, it is indirectly telling you something, and you must not ignore the signal that is shown to you. Have you asked God why you are finding it difficult to understand Him? What is God saying? What is the response that you are working with? God is the one working in you to will and to do what He wants to do so that you will be with the person that He wants you to be with. How will the relationship work when there is no understanding working between the two of you? How will you cope without the understanding that will give grace to your relationship? Everything that comes from the Lord is the best for you. You do not have to struggle in a relationship that there is no good understanding, a relationship where you are stranded and confused. Let God work for you. Let God bring that person to you. Allow plans and the will of the Lord happen in your life. Number 4, when you did not have God's approval for it. Did you ask God before you got into that relationship? Is it God that asked you to go on with Him? Sometimes we often think we can do things with our understanding without involving God in it. God will not force you to involve Him, but you will one day be forced to seek God for a curative measure for something that has lost its potency and love. That is why you have to know if God is telling you to go on or not. You do not have to assume to know the mind and the plans of God already. God is saying something different. God may want you to ask first before you receive a word from God, to know what to do. Did you present Him to God before accepting the friendship proposal? These are the questions you have to ask yourself before you conclude with Him. If you have not done these, then you do not even know the position of God in the matter. So you are confused as a person in the middle of nowhere, and you need to go back to God and relate with God over the matter. Number 5, difference in faith. You know the words and the standards of God in that relationship that you must not be equally yoked with an unbeliever. You do not have it as an option to end up with someone that is not in the same faith with you. You are not supposed to marry a male factor that is not in line with your relationship. Everything will not sound the same to the both of you because your beliefs are not the same and it contradicts each other. This is the standard of God. That is what God wants for you, not to end up with someone that is not in the same faith with you. It is an indication that He is not the person God has planned for you. You have to be careful how you allow your emotion to lead you into things that you are not fully prepared for. You must not be under any pressure of any kind. You should not let anyone talk you into what you do not want to do or take you into breaking the instructions of the Lord. If God has said you should be not equally yoked, then it means you must be joined together in oneness to avoid making you faithless. Let God be your light. Let the word of the Lord be your navigating tools with which you will move to the point and the place God Himself is taking you to. All this and a lot more unsaid are clues to tell you that He is not the person God has planned and prepared for you. You have to do everything to avoid mistakes and errors so you will fulfill the purpose of God in your life. The person you marry will tell you if you will fulfill the purpose of God. If you allow the will of God to come in that marriage decision, then you will always make it to please the Lord, but if not, then it becomes the visa.